Today we're gonna go through the routing instructions, and we will be creating a routine on a group master, or a routine to a different folio, or a routine to a different reservation. First of all, we're gonna talk a little bit about why do we create routines. Routines are created if the guest is not paying for certain part of the stay or for the whole stay, so then we know we're not going to charge them wrongly on departure. I will first find my reservation, which in this case is for Mr. Sanchez, and I'm going to open my reservation. As we can see, the guest is part of a group, as I have a group available to choose from. Otherwise, I wouldn't have any group option. As you can see, I don't have any company and I don't have any travel agent. How do we create routines? All the type of routines can be created in the same way. We will go to More, Routing Instructions. And this is our routing instructions window. We will then need to select what we want to route somewhere else with New. And New on the top window. If I wanted to route the accommodation, I select accommodation, or all accounts, or extras, or F&B. If I wanted to set up a certain amount of routines, I can also just route particular transaction accounts, for example the baby cot, or the cancellation charge, or the charity donation, or whatever other TAA we have available. In this case, let's say I want to route the accommodation, and here is where I can select when the routing is valid for. It defaults to during the whole stay. If, for example, the company was paying for different nights, we can select the dates we want to route somewhere else. If it's during the whole stay, it will default to that. And then I can select the target of my routing, which will mean where my transaction accounts will be going to. We can do it in the same reservation within a different folio, and I will select that option, or I can route it to a different reservation. If I click and unselect from my available reservations where I'm routing it to, for example, Ashcon Advisors I just picked up, or I can route it to the group master. The group master option will only be available if the reservation is part of a group. Otherwise, it will not be available. Every time we need to do a routine, we need to think, and we need to ensure that we have somewhere the information of whoever is paying for that revenue. The routines we do more often are either to a different reservation, because one guest is paying for multiple rooms and that guest is staying in house. We also do to group master when we know the group is settling that up. If there is a group master, or if it's route to a different reservation, then we will know those charges are going somewhere where the invoices will be created for the person who is paying for the reservation. It's very important, if we route in the same folio, in the same reservation, we have the information available there. And what is the case in which we will be routing charges into the same reservation? That's the case of a third-party payment form, for example. So if this reservation was room to third-party payment form, we will need to ensure that we have a routing for the person who is paying for those charges. How do we create that information? How we do update it on the system? From our reservations tab, there are a couple of options we can do. The quickest one is opening your invoice, and we can see window A is named under Sanchez, but window B has no name on it. In order for us to assign a name to it, we can press the payment type button and it will open the very similar routing instructions window we've seen before. We know that window B is the one where we want to send the charges to, so then I can select an address to go into it. And these search profile tabs will be general for guest profiles, travel agent profiles, or company profiles. In this case, I know that the charges for Mr. Sanchez will be settled by his company, the Zeta Hotel, so I can then select the window. And as we can see now, window A is Sanchez, window B is the Zeta Hotel. So if I go back to my routing payment instructions and I select a new one and a new accommodation routing, within the folio I know window B is now the Zeta Hotel. Very often we know already window B, we can see that window B already has a name assigned to it, and that happens when either the company or the travel agents are attached to the reservations. So if Mr. Sanchez had already a company name called the Zeta Hotel, one of our windows will already be named the Zeta Hotel. Window A is always for the guest, window B is the one that gets a name. Often we need to be particularly careful when a company books and pays through a travel agent, because a window for the company will be created, and also a window for the travel agent will be created. So we need to make sure all the charges are routed to the correct place, so we can then send the invoice to the travel agent. And that's an overview of how we create routines, why we create routines, and the different routine types we can do.